24 hours in my life as a doctor trying to train for the Boston Marathon. It is week 3 of the Boston build. Before we get to the video, I want you to know that you are greatly, greatly loved and that you are wonderfully and beautifully created and that you are capable of far more than you could ever imagine. Let's get to it. Legs done. Let's get to the house and talk about what the day's gonna look like. I was trying some ridiculous trend on TikTok and it ended up being absolutely incredible. Core Power protein with some sort of diet soda and it was absolutely fire. All right, so let me tell you about the day. So I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I slept in a little bit because we stayed up way too late last night. And then from about 6 to 7:15, I played with Oliver, made Oliver's lunch for school, made my beautiful wife's breakfast. And then Oliver and I went to his school. I had to drop him off by 8 o'clock. So days that I'm working the night shift, my mornings are so free, which are so nice because I get to do a lot of other things that I usually do not get to do when I have to leave the house so early. After dropping Oliver off, I went to the gym and crushed legs. As you guys saw, I was pretty excited with that leg day session. And now I have a little bit of time before I have to head up to Boston for my shift. So I'm gonna clean up the house a little bit. I know I have some dishes to wash. I'm gonna make some content. I am going to pack my clothes for work and then head up to Boston. My commute will be about 1 hour and 15 minutes. During these long commutes, a lot of people say like, how in the world do you do it? How do you commute so far every day? Well, I prioritize a lot of things during that commute, and so I'll try to schedule as many meetings as I can during that commute so I'm not necessarily wasting time in the car. I'm still making the most of that time. So I have 2 meetings on my commute up to Boston today, and then I'm meeting up with someone for the first time who is going to crush this track workout with me today. So I have a hard track session, which you guys will see some clips of here in just a little bit, and then after that we'll probably hang out until I have to be at the hospital at 4 o'clock. So 24 hours in my day when I'm working the night shift is very different from 24 hours in my day when I am doing a week on service, which I start on Saturday. So next week's video, I will be showing you guys that. All right, we have made it up to Boston. I met someone off Instagram that wanted to do this run workout with me. So he's gonna meet me here as soon as he gets changed up. He just had a college fair or a career fair, I believe, and then we are gonna be heading over to a track. So today's running workout, we are gonna do a 2-mile warm up, and then we will have 6 by 1 mile repeats. And my goal pace for these 1 mile repeats is around a 5:55 per mile pace. I'm gonna try to stay right on that pace and not push it too hard. Last week, I think I pushed some of the hard sessions and dealt with a lot of fatigue thereafter. Still able to hit my workouts, but they were just harder than I wanted. So hopefully these 6 1 mile repeats, by the time I get done with them, I still want to feel fairly good, but just not like fairly good, just not destroyed. And so I think we could do that at that 5:55 per mile pace. So Mauricio should be here in just a second and we'll get this run going. Great work, man.
You too.
All right, so how was the session?
Solid work, I think. 6 mile repeats. It's been a while since I've done some good speed work, but it felt solid.
Yeah, so some of it obviously feels like hell during the speed work.
How do you push through those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to quit? How do you push through to finish the rep, finish the set, and finish the whole workout?
You learn with time that your body can do so much more than what your head says. Your head will go into a panic mode right at the beginning of the session and say, you can't do this no more, you have to quit. So you just gotta push through that first barrier, and then you will get into a zone where you will be able to finish what you're doing, and then that feels amazing.
Do you have any like tips, like when you're in that uncomfortable spot, do you have any tricks that mental games that you play or that you do that helps you get through?
This is what I trained for. I trained to be on the uncomfortable, and I have been through a lot, and I like to be in this position for the future. In the future, whenever you go through hard times, this teaches you to be on the uncomfortable. So that's what I remind myself of when I'm in those moments.
Yeah, I love that. A couple of things that I do, like when I'm really hurting, I start counting, which is really odd. But like every time my right foot hits, I'll say 1, and then after 2 more cycles through, my left foot hits, I'll count to 2.
Yeah.
I'll count up to 100, and then count back down backwards. It just like distracts my mind from everything.
Yeah.
And then another thing I do, and this is what I do a lot in Ironman, is I have this mantra that I just say, God give me strength, God give me endurance, God give me perseverance, God give me hope. God give me strength, God give me endurance, God give me perseverance, God give me hope. And I just cycle that through, and it really helps me get through some of the suffering.
Yeah, I'm just thankful for it, for being able to push myself through that. I'm just thankful, and I'm enjoying it. That's what I do. I haven't counted. Maybe I will use it in the future, one of those times that I'm in a lot of pain during my Ironman.
Yeah, you'll
start counting and
you'll become
remember Tommy.
Mathematician,
But I don't do any of those.
So I think the takeaway is get comfortable being uncomfortable, and rejoice in the sufferings, knowing that they're going to create in you perseverance, endurance, and character. Right?
Exactly.
Man, great session.
And be grateful.
Be grateful.
Thank you.
We just finished the cool down. How many miles did we get in?
In total, we did 10 and a half.
10 and a half miles, and now Mauricio has treated me to this incredible food.
We're very lucky. I'm a student still nowadays, and then I have a cafeteria meal plan, and when you have it, you don't appreciate it. Now I'm 25 years old, and I have it, and I appreciate it like crazy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so he has a salad there. We have some fish, rice, asparagus, some delicious pizza. I had some fruit, but I've already devoured it, and some boiled eggs. Incredible. Mauricio, you're the best, man.
No, I appreciate it, and thanks for the company and for working out with me today.
So it is now 3:30. I have about 30 minutes to get into the hospital, get showered up, and get to sign out. So the way the night works is I have to be at the hospital by 4 o'clock to get sign out from the daytime hospitalist. And sign out just means that they're going through all 20-something patients and telling me the things that we need to make sure happen overnight. And so if we are full on beds, then we have 24 patients. If we have open beds, that means I could get admissions. And then so I get sign out at 4 o'clock, usually check in with the residents sometime. The night residents, I believe, get there around 5 o'clock. I'll check in with them, do some expectations, introductions, things of that nature. Then we have some time between 5 and about 8 p.m. where we either do admissions if we get them, could do some teaching, or just kind of relax before the rest of the night. We do night rounds at 8 o'clock. That's where we go and check on every single patient and go over the things that need to be done for that patient during the night shift. Rounds could take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how busy it is, if we get admissions throughout, and things of that nature. And then I usually buy us dinner, and we'll eat together around 10 o'clock. And then hopefully after that, we get to get some rest. But depending on how busy the night is, you may get 0 minutes of sleep. Or if the night's not too bad, you may get a little bit of sleep. So we will have to see how the night goes. So time to get showered up, get ready for the night shift. And I will update you guys about how the night shift was in the morning. Morning, guys. I'm now done with my night shift. It is 8:30. I have a couple notes to finish from the night, so I'm gonna get going on that. I also just set up my office. Let me show you guys. I just got an office. So here's my office. You can see here we have double monitors. Also brought a walking treadmill because this desk is one of the stand-up desks where I will be able to, do my documentation, do my notes, and still get some walking in, just so that I'm not sitting at the desk all day long. Also have a set of adjustable dumbbells here, and then this is the rest of my office. We have made it home. It is 11:15 right now in the morning. It is now Wednesday morning, I believe. So last night, it was a really good night. I did get to sleep a little bit, which is always a plus. We started off the night with our beds being almost full. We had 3 open beds, which means that leads the ability to get 3 admissions throughout the night. We ended up getting 3 admissions. They did come in the early morning hours, I think between 3 and 6 a.m. But we did end up filling our beds. Our unit is, 24 beds and consists of a resident team and a nurse practitioner team. And we all work together as one giant team. Absolutely love working with residents and with nurse practitioners or PAs and kind of being at a teaching facility where I'm able to lead the team and talk about a lot of different topics and do teaching on rounds and things of that nature. So really enjoy it. And so then I started off pretty busy. We ended up doing rounds at 8. We didn't finish rounds till closer to 10 o'clock just because some patient care things were happening throughout rounds, which means that, rounds get interrupted and you have to go tend to sick patients and things of that nature. So rounds lasted a little while. So we ended up finishing rounds at 10 and we ate dinner together around 10, finished around 10:30. And then I think I finally went to the call rooms around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And then we had those admissions around 3 o'clock. So some things that we're seeing in the hospital right now, which would be asthma exacerbations. We are seeing so many acute asthma exacerbations, and it's not too unexpected with it being, the seasons are changing, it's getting colder, viruses are picking up, and so all of those things lead to more asthma exacerbations, and we are just happening to see a lot of them right now. Other things, as I mentioned in my video last week, a lot of viral infections, which we'll continue to see throughout this season. And so there are some things that we could kind of do to help with or decrease our likelihood of getting these viruses during these seasons. And so a couple things that I generally recommend to anyone and everyone, which I'm going to be a hypocrite right now, but one would be get plenty of sleep, whether it's your children or yourself. The more sleep you have, the better your immune system is going to function and the better recovery you're going to have just day in and day out. And so aiming, if you're an adult, to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night is super important. And then for children, it really depends on their age. As they're younger, they need a lot more sleep. And so just making sure our children are in a nice routine where they're getting plenty of sleep, and if they're still at the age of napping, that they're getting those good naps. The second thing would be to eat a well-balanced diet. Try to eat as much fruits and vegetables as you can because they have so many vitamins and that will just kind of help continue to support our immune system and that we are fueling our body with the appropriate nutrients. So a lot of fruits and vegetables, and then limiting our packaged and processed foods and aiming to eat whole foods, also very important. Number 3 would be exercise regularly. Now, exercise, there's a limit where it gets too much exercise that could actually lead to your risk of getting infections or becoming ill, things of that nature. And I probably teeter-totter with that a little too much, but exercise daily can be very beneficial for our overall health. And then just some common things throughout viral season would be good hand hygiene. So anytime you're, going in and out of public places, you're touching things where a lot of people are around, make sure you are either washing your hands or using hand sanitizer. Very important. If you are sick or you are having upper respiratory tract infections like cough, congestion, runny nose, things of that nature, try to stay away from other people out in public where you might spread the virus to them, or you can wear a mask, which would also be beneficial. If your kiddo is sick, keeping them home from daycare, which can be so hard and such a big strain on families, and we definitely understand that, but when children are sick, trying to not expose them to other children that also could get sick with these viruses. So when it comes to viruses, really the key is prevention, which during the season, it can be very, very, very challenging. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I am obviously exhausted. I'm going to go try to get a nap in before my kiddos get home. Hopefully get a nap in and get some exercise in before my kiddos get home here in a few hours. Anyway, that is it for this week, this week's episode of the Boston Build. And I will see you guys next Friday. Before I go, I want you guys to know that you are greatly, greatly loved and that you are wonderfully and beautifully created and that you are capable of far more than you guys could ever imagine. See you next week.